Hey, it's Dr. Shana and welcome to 69 Love. The first thing I would like to say today is thank you. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed and followed and liked and shown interest in my videos. I appreciate it so much, and I would like to encourage you to check out 69love.com, see what you think of that, and if you have any questions that are related to sex or love or relationships, either post them in the comments here, send them in an email to Dr. Shana at 69love.com, follow us on that Facebook page, you can post questions there. So that leads us to today. Today we have a question, and I think it's kind of two parts. It's super interesting. So this question is coming from Lauren in Wisconsin, and the question is this. A lot of my friends have recently been discussing, as they are new moms, how in the heck to even start considering or thinking about being comfortable with the idea of having sex after a child. She goes on to say that she doesn't have children, but she can imagine that hormones and other things are impacting these women's interest or maybe some of their fears about having sex again after having a child. And she's also wondering how she can support them through this. I'd like to grab that first. I think sometimes when we consider what support looks like, we think that it is having the perfect answer to our friend's problem or their question, or we think it's having some sort of advice that maybe they haven't considered yet that we're going to enlighten them with, and it will solve the thing that is happening, the issue that they are having. And that might not be the right way to look at what it truly means to listen to someone when they decide to share something about their life or themselves, especially a hardship or a difficulty. And I think that empathizing and letting your friend or partner know that you hear what they're saying, and that if in fact there is any way that you can help, that you are there for them. Rarely, if I go to Graham with a problem I'm having at work, does he give me some kind of advice that I haven't already considered, or share with me some revelation that I haven't thought of myself. And in fact, sometimes that advice giving feels almost derogatory to me, as if maybe I wasn't smart enough to consider that answer. And in times like that, what I really need from Graham is to say, holy cow, Shana, that must be really difficult for you. Is there anything you need from me? And that way I can walk him right into what is most helpful for me. And oftentimes that's nothing. I would say, I just needed to vent for a minute, or I wouldn't mind going for a walk, or I need a little bit of alone time, because ultimately I need to process and think through what's going on and make my own decision. So when it comes to supporting these friends, I think maybe just being there for them and letting them know that if they need anything from you, that you are available is probably the most helpful. When it comes to being a woman and having a baby, it's difficult. I sometimes wish the doctors would have been a little more honest with the two biggest fears I had were going to the bathroom and having sex with my husband. And when my body finally felt ready, I told Graham that he was not allowed to move or even breathe, and that he needed to let me guide because I was absolutely terrified. And in the end, I will reassure all of you out there that it is not as scary as we think, either of those two things actually, and our bodies really do go back for the most part to the way that they were beforehand if we take care of them, which is very reassuring, especially to some of those new moms out there. But let's talk about Gottman method, because that's really what this is all about. Gottman method focuses on day-to-day connecting for couples, very much like the preface of 69 Love. That's what that whole membership is about. It's about giving action items so that couples can love harder. And Gottman does a lot of this with card decks. So in my office, I have a ton of card decks. So from open-ended questions and building love maps, to expressing needs and sharing appreciations, to turning toward our partners when they need us, either physically or emotionally or intellectually. And when we do those things, we feel more connected for the other side of what Gottman method is all about, and that is how to help couples and relationships through unexpected or planned life stressors or big life changes, which is why there's also a card deck, 52 questions before baby, because it's a very big adjustment to have a child. And while yes, hormones play into it, there is probably something to the overwhelming stress that comes with having a new baby and trying to manage asking our partners for the help that we actually need so that we don't begin to feel a disconnection. And if we can focus on staying connected and communicating and openly saying, honey, I know that you have to work in the morning, but I've gotten up 3 times and I just need some help right now. Or I love this new little bundle that we have, but we need to get away from this baby and have a little bit of adult time together. And if couples focus on a lot of those things, I have a feeling that becoming or regaining intimacy with one another may be a little bit more enjoyable, interesting, considerable and that maybe it won't feel quite so scary and there won't feel like there's so much of a disconnect between the two people. So hopefully this was helpful to your question. First thing, oftentimes it is not advice or some magic answer that provides the best kind of support to a friend or partner, but it's more about the listening and then offering yourself to help and hoping that your partner or your friend really truly lets you know the things that you need. Feel free to download the Gottman Card Deck app. It is free in the App Store. It has tons and tons and tons of amazing information and card decks that you can use on that app to help strengthen your relationship so that you can even use these questions after the baby comes. So there's love, social, work, and money, because those are the things that change or that we often want to consider when we're moving into a big life change like having a child. So feel free to use these things. They're at your disposal. Also check out the website 69 Love because it kind of does the same thing. Continue to subscribe if you like this. Please ask some questions if you have them. I would be super happy to answer them because, like I always say, all I'm here for, right? I'm just the messenger. And what I'm really hoping that I can spread is a little bit more love into the world because I think it could be even a more beautiful place. Thanks so much.